Hello there and welcome to the Bit of Peacock. It's my channel where we talk all things Leeds United. I'm going to wrap it up quickly, but I'll try to. It's a match day review. Leeds United have just drawn one apiece at Carrow Road against Norwich City, and it's a match review. And yeah, I'll try and get to it quick because it's late. And yeah, but there you go. The starting 11 then. Obviously, Ethan Ampadu injured. Ao Tanaka coming for his first start for the club in the middle of the park. Otherwise, it was as you were for the Coventry win. Sommelier in goal, Firpo left back, Bogle right back. Centre backs for Rodon and Strauk. In the middle, Tanaka and Gruev. Ramazani and Nonto on the wings in attack. In the hole was Brendan Aronson, and up top by himself was Matteo Joseph. And yeah, Leeds didn't get going. Didn't get going in the first half for me. Really, really pedestrian in possession. Really, really slow. Norwich, to be fair, I thought, you could tell they were on a good run of form. Little, upturn, 2 wins in a row on the bounce. And they looked hungry for it. They looked hungry. I thought press was good from Norwich initially. And yeah, Leeds were just a little bit slow for me. Then you get the penalty in the 15th minute. What is Joe Rodon doing? What has happened to Joe Rodon? I mean, for me, he was better in the second half. He was better in the second half, but just what? And he looks, he looks so miserable as well. I mean, I'm not. That's he's concentrating on the game, but awful challenge. What are you doing, son? Clear penalty, clear as day. Had to take a little while. Gruev got injured, which we'll pick up on in a second. But Josh Sargent, who I'm not a massive fan of at all, to be honest, really poor penalty. And again, Melier, it's almost too close to his body for him to. He goes the right way, but it's a bit too close to him, I think, for him to really for him to get down low enough to save it. So he scores and it's 1-0 after 15 minutes. Like I said, Norwich, I thought started pretty well, and you could tell they were hungry for a win. They probably wanted to avenge that 4-0 playoff game as well last season, didn't they? Probably. So, yeah, Sargent puts them 1-0 up. Of course, there's two American men on opposition sides, Brendan Aronson, who actually I thought Brendan had a good game, all told, really. It wasn't sparkling, but he was all right. But yeah, then not long after that, Gruev goes down injured. I think that was on like 20th minute. Injury it happens all the time, doesn't it? One follows the other, and Ila Gruev out injured. I bet he's not featuring on Friday. So Rothwell comes in, Joe Rothwell, who I thought played really well actually. Picked him up a yellow card for himself for his troubles. I thought he played all right, did Rothwell, and I'm a big fan of Ao Tanaka actually. I was just watching him a little bit closely and thinking, wow, he was so composed and calm on the ball when he was, he had Norwich players around him, just so calm and cool on the ball. Even when he slipped, he was up and ready to, to get the ball and just so calm on it. And I don't think he really ever gave the ball away. For me, very, very impressed with him. I thought Rothwell was all right next to him, but that's probably what we're going to have to go with now for Friday, isn't it? We'll wait and see on, as I'm just doing this, Daniel speaking, but there you go. Yeah, um, I don't know. Grove probably won't play on Friday, will he? It'll probably be Rothwell and Tanaka, so we'll have to wait and see. Or maybe, you can switch it up, Daniel, as well. You can switch it up, mate. So I don't know. Maybe he does that, but he probably won't, will he? Um, but yeah, immediately after they score, we hit the post. Willie Nonto, who he was the danger, wasn't he, for us? He definitely was the danger. You know, I just think Leeds needs to take a bit more care on in possession. Just need to take a bit more care in possession. They were rushing it a little bit too much for me, and I was a little bit disappointed because I think with a little bit more care of the football, we could have got further in that game. There's one point in the second half where they make a mistake, give it straight to Tanaka, and he just rushes his pass straight forward to Bamford. If he takes his that looks up, there was Perot running, better option. It happened quite a lot of the time where we just seem to rush the ball, and maybe picked the wrong option a little bit. And first half was poor, actually, I thought. And I didn't think they were much better, really, in that past their goal. I thought they were relying on counter attacks, which is crazy, for me, when you're at home. But I appreciate we're quite a team to be gunned after. So it's difficult how you approach a game against Leeds United, into even at home. But they obviously had quality on the counter. Signs, Borja Signs, really really impressed with him. Very very tricky player. Junior Firpo and Jane Bogle both really struggled with him tonight. I thought Firpo had a really both of them actually. I thought had really poor games, if I'm being honest. But I do appreciate that Saints is a difficult opponent to face, so you've got to take that into account as well, don't you? So there you go. But we go in 1-0 down at half time. Didn't really test Angus Gunn enough at all. They didn't really test Millier, to be fair. A handful of corners was, yeah, they didn't really get close, really. I think there was an effort from Rodon, deflected effort, which Millier did well to save. But other than that, can't really remember anything else from Norwich's point of view. Um, yeah, and let's just talk about the referee for a second. He was awful. I don't know him personally, but I know this referee. I've seen him loads of times in the EFL, and he will never get to the Premier League as a referee. Awful, awful referee. Really, really poor. The penalty, yeah, he got right. It was an obvious one. I could have given that penalty. It was easy. The rest of it, he probably got wrong. All of it was really, really poor. Handing out cards like Christmas, obviously. Um, yeah, really, really poor display from the referee. Some just so inconsistent. Won't give a yellow card for an obvious yellow card, and then he just give a yellow card for the sake of it. Almost, it was he just lost control of the game, particularly sort of midway through the first half. Kind of calmed down a little bit the game as it went on, but I thought he was especially poor, to be fair. And then into the second half, I thought we gained a little bit more control as the game got on. It was a bit frantic, sort of maybe the midway through the second half. Got a little bit frantic, didn't it? Little bit um, sort of basketball esque that we were almost used to seeing under Marcelo Bielsa, really, but minus the quality, to be fair. From them as well, they were poor. Lots of long balls, nothing on it. Um, and finally we kind of our pressure pays a little bit, and we get a goal. It's a really lovely, well worked goal. Pascal Strout picks the ball up. He sees Willie onto on the edge of the box. Willie just little deft touch onto Largy, and Largy has started his career at Leeds really really well, hasn't he? Really nice finish, left footed into the bottom, arrowed into the bottom corner past Gunn, and it's 1-1 on 60 minutes. And from there, you think, come on, Leeds, let's make it count. But they just didn't, Leeds. Like I said, it got a bit frantic, all a bit frantic past the 60-minute mark, and they had a bit of a few corner kicks, and they looked dangerous on the counter. But like I said, it's all through sayings, all through sayings. He was. Yeah, he's a special player, him, and you can see why people are looking at him. He's probably a little bit under the radar with Sarah there last season and others, Johnny Rowe, but this time he's the main man. A bit like Willie for us, really, in a sense, a bit like Willie, really, because maybe overshadowed by a couple of other players that in the team that were probably a better quality. And now he's the main man. He's getting to show his qualities. So a little bit similar to Willie Nonto for us. I'd liken him to potentially. And I thought Willie had a decent game tonight for Leeds, but he's a little bit ineffectual in times. But he tried. He's always sought after into on the pitch. They want to tackle him and get round him, don't they? And obviously because he's a threat. So it was disappointing. You know, from our point of view, he didn't get a lot of space. But I think again, when we did get the space, the wrong pass was done, and I think this yeah again in this Aronson goes through on goal and he just blazes it over the bar. I think he's not thinking. He's thinking we're going to get that penalty. So he's just like, oh, well, I'll just kick it over the bar then. Take your time and make certain of the finish. You know, for example, if you don't give the penalty, which he didn't, you put it in the net, it's a goal, and we're 2-1 up, regardless of the penalty decision. So I think it was just taking a little bit more care of the football and thinking about it a little bit more would get us further. Would have got us the 3 points there. Also, I think that the substitutions were confusing. They usually are under Daniel Farker. To be fair, yeah, I really, yeah. I mean, I know we've got another game on Friday. It's a hell of a long way to go. Is Norwich and then again to Sunderland. So there's a heck of a lot of travelling. There's probably not much training, but one of those substitutions, I don't understand it. I don't understand why you consistently keep bringing Byram on. What's the point? I guess bringing Firpo off because he's such an important player at the moment. But it just seems a bit silly. You know, Bamford was, you know, clueless up front. Really, just ran around, didn't really do anything at all. And you just wonder what's going on with these subs? It's just like change them for the sake of it. You know, Joffrey. Why is Joffrey still at the club? With all the respect to him, it's not his fault. But he's just not good enough. So I just don't understand it. When you're trying to win a game of football, you want the players to come and be come off the bench that are almost well better or just as good as quality as the ones that you're replacing in the starting 11. And it's just not it. I thought that the subs interrupted the game, gave Norwich a little bit more of a leg up, and they incidentally sort of controlled the kind of last 15 to 20 minutes. So it was a little bit of a hard watch, to be fair, that sort of last part of the second half. So yeah, look, he'll probably be happy. I don't know what he said, but he'll probably be happy with the 1-1 draw. I don't think I am. Just let me know in the comments if you are or not. I understand it's a decent point in a sense, but it's only decent if you back it up with 3 points at the Stadium of Light on Friday, isn't it? So go on, Leeds, go and get the win. Hopefully, Gruev isn't as well. We'll have to have a look, but I don't think he'll be there on Friday, will he? He'll be precaution, and you get it over with until the international break, and you see him fit, unless he's fit enough anyway. But let's wait and see. Give me your thoughts in the comments there below. Thanks a lot for watching. Marching on together. I'll see you on the next one.